The world has no problem asking you, who do you think you are? No, but really, who are you? And who decided that for you? Because here's the thing, the world has been naming you since the moment you took your first breath. Everything from parents to teachers, friends, bosses, partners, even the critics, they have all had something to say. And if you let them, your whole life will be lived in reaction mode. But when you claim your identity first, everything shifts into alignment mode. You stop chasing and start attracting. And this is the difference between, I guess this is who I am, versus I've decided and now the world adjusts. And that, my friend, is where your main character energy comes alive. You've been playing small long enough. It is time to speak life into your life. These aren't just your regular schmegular affirmations. They're your main character activations. Say it loud. I am the main character and I live it. Download your power affirmations in the show notes below. Welcome to Confident and Empowered, the Encourage Over Everything show. I'm Letitia Hopkins, your favorite voice of encouragement and main character coach. Around here, we romanticize our lives, reclaim our confidence, and run the show just like we were born to do, okay? Hey, friend. Now, how are you feeling about this topic? Does it already have you feeling some type of way? Are you already feeling like, amen, sister, the world thinks it has me defined? Or are you excited to explore and rewrite your story? If you've been feeling like the world has a Vulcan death grip on who you are and it won't turn you loose, that's a sneaky way the world tries to define you, simply by the roles you play. Maybe you're thinking, but Letitia, it's too late. Everyone already knows me as fill in the blank. And then you just go into default mode and say, that's just who I am now. The world might have decided you're the dependable one, the shy one, the one who always plays it safe, or maybe you're the hothead, the rule breaker, or the good girl. They might have frozen you in time like you're still a teenager, or that intern, or that first marriage version of you that you or the one who made the big mistake years ago. Maybe you've been the single one in your friend group for so long that people treat your love life like it's a side plot in your own story. Or you've been the married one, so automatically you're assumed to have it all together, to be the advice giver and the example everyone now has to live by. Maybe you've been the career driven one, so people don't even ask about your personal life, as if ambition and intimacy can't exist in the same person. But in all honesty, roles are just chapters, they're not cages. Just because you've been the single one doesn't mean you can't step into a new partnership. Just because you've been the married one doesn't mean you can't reinvent yourself inside and outside of your relationship. And just because you've been the career driven one doesn't mean you can't be soft, playful, or wildly romantic. Identities aren't prison sentences. They're just choices you keep making until you decide to make a new one. But people's version of you is not really you anyway. It's a snapshot from their perspective, but not the whole movie. When you let roles define you, you limit your own plot twist. You stop giving yourself permission to evolve because you're afraid it'll confuse people. But let me just remind you of something. Confusion is temporary, but regret for staying small is permanent for as long as you continue to minimize yourself. If you let other people define you, they for surely will. And I said for surely as if it's all one word because they for surely will. And guess what? It'll be based on their comfort zone, their needs, and their version of your past. You'll find yourself reacting to who they think you are instead of being who you know you are. But the second you claim your identity for yourself, you start moving with a whole different frequency. Life starts rearranging to meet the version of you that you've decided on. And when you're living life on autopilot, it's easy to not even recognize that you're letting previous versions of you drive today. Now, this one right here is so sneaky and can easily run beside you in incognito mode. So many of us are still letting old versions of ourselves run the show. Those beliefs that you formed as a teen or in your early 20s can still be running your life like outdated software. Maybe you decided at 19 after that one heartbreak that you were just bad at relationships, or all good looking guys cheat. Maybe a teacher told you at 15 that you weren't leadership material and you've been dimming your light ever since. Trust me, this was something that took me a whole entire divorce to realize. My mom was a teen mom and had me on her 15th birthday. I used to tell her, I'm the gift that keeps on giving. So many people thought I'd end up just like her, family included. Sometimes it be your own family. But I think there was a pool going on to see if I was really going to be a teen mama too. I was so focused on not being a teen mom that when I found myself in my early 20s and pregnant, I got married before my baby boy was even born. Now, hindsight being 2020, I had no business getting married. I had one friend who said to me, you don't have to get married. And I said, I know. And instead of really taking heed to what she was asking, I was so focused on not being a single mom, like my mom was, that I got married anyway. It didn't last long before I found myself being a divorced single mom with a baby on each hip. My focus on not living out that narrative became a reality because I wasn't focused on what I wanted. I was focused on what I did not want. And what you focus on becomes your outcome. It was a very valuable lesson in being intentional about what I want and who I am, not what other people think. People love to underestimate someone because of their circumstances, but circumstances can change and so can you. Have you ever found yourself living out a narrative that you never wanted to be true? Have you let past versions of you determine who you are and what you can have? Who you've been has shaped who you are today. You might even be living your adult life by what was true for you as a teenager or the 20 something version of you, even though you've got a whole new level of wisdom, experience, and perspective now. So, who are you right now? With your wisdom, the scars that have healed, even your glow up, not who they said you were, not who you were at 17 or 22, but who are you today? You get to decide who you are in this season of your life with full permission to continue to evolve on repeat. Friend, you know there's more for you, more confidence, more clarity, more alignment. But somewhere along the way, you stopped asking yourself what you really want. And it's time to reconnect, to remember who you are before the doubt, the pressure, and the perfectionism took over. The main character energy journal prompts are your daily invitation to step back into your power, to get honest, to dream boldly, to see yourself again. This is where the identity shift actually begins. Not just with words, but with truth, with self-awareness, with you. Start your journaling journey today and write your way back to the most magnetic, aligned, and unstoppable version of yourself. You are not just chasing your next era, you are being her. Grab the main character energy journal prompts now in the link in the show notes, okay? Now, let's do a quick detox. Think of every label you've ever been handed: too loud, too quiet, too much, not enough, pretty, average, bossy, difficult, the responsible person, the responsible one. And don't even get me started on body type or being told that you're just like your mama or your daddy, whatever. You've probably been carrying some of these for years, maybe even decades. Some of those labels you've worn so long, you don't even question them anymore. But are they even yours anymore? Or did you outgrow them a long time ago and just never took them off? Are they still true? Or did you outgrow them and just never stop wearing them? You might even be living a 2025 life with a 2003 identity. Well, babe, it is time to upgrade. Grab a notebook for later on and write down every label you've been, and then decide which ones you're keeping and cross out the rest. Now, this other sneaky one is criticism. And we're going to turn that criticism into fuel because we've all been hit with criticism that really struck a nerve. Sometimes it feels like a quick jab or a slow burn. When somebody says something to you and it makes you clutch your pearls like, oh, I know you didn't. Somebody says something like, "You always are quick to get an attitude." Now, friend, we're in a loving, safe space here. Maybe you do go from 0 to 100 real quick, like Drake said. Maybe you do get defensive fast, but instead of shaming yourself, you decide to slow down your reactions and respond from your highest self. Or maybe they say you're too sensitive. And it's okay if you do feel deeply. But that's also why you connect with people in such a powerful way. No matter what it is, when someone brings something to your attention, it plants itself in your mind and starts whispering every time you try to move. Sometimes it stings because there's a little truth in it, but that truth doesn't have to make you shrink. It doesn't have to become your new ceiling. The next time somebody offers you some criticism, pull out what's honest and ask yourself, is there any part of this that's true for me? If yes, claim it, not as a weapon against yourself, but as data that you can use to grow. Keep whatever is useful. If the criticism points to a skill that you need to sharpen or a habit you need to break, a blind spot that you can now address, take it as free coaching and run with it. Toss the rest in the trash where it belongs, honey. If it's rooted in jealousy, projection, or outdated information about who you used to be, let it go. That's not your weight to carry. Criticism can be a mirror, but you get to decide which reflections you keep. You are allowed to look at that reflection and say, "Thank you for showing me what I needed to see," and still choose to walk away from what does not belong to you. Sometimes the best revenge is evolution. Sometimes the most powerful response is to become so grounded in who you are now that the old version of you can't even find a seat at your table. And if you are really ready to flip the script, use those words as fuel. Let it push you to get better, bolder, and sharper. Let it remind you exactly why you are not playing small anymore. Not because you have anything to prove, but because you've decided to be a walking, breathing receipt of your own growth. Now, here's the decision that truly changes everything. Deciding who you are is not about finding yourself because you're not lost. You are just getting to know yourself during this season of your life. Do some self discovery. What did she used to enjoy that she no longer enjoys now? What does she actually enjoy now? What used to feel good that doesn't really feel like a fit anymore? What's feeling good nowadays? Like what's feeling nourishing and nurturing, safe and peaceful? You've been given this beautiful opportunity to choose yourself. And when you choose, you move differently, you speak differently, you attract differently. You can be whoever you want to be. You can reinvent, redefine, and rise. And that's what main character energy is all about. Now, you may have heard me say this before. Deciding who you are is powerful, but living as that version is really where the magic happens. If you're sitting there wondering, okay, Letitia, but where do I even start? Don't worry, I got you. This is your permission slip to make it simple. We are not overcomplicating this. You just need one clear moment where you can release the old and one bold move that you can step into the new. That's it. That's why I love to call it the self love two step. It's your quick, no excuses way to start living as the version of you that you decided on and start living as her today. So, step one, release the old script. Write down every so called fact about you that came from someone else's mouth. You can shred it, delete it, burn it safely, whatever you would like to do with it to discard it. But write those things down. That's your way of releasing that old script. And then step two, cast yourself in the role you want. Write your new bio like you are the main character in your own story because, hello, you are. And read it every day until it's not just words, it is who you are. Confidence isn't a vibe, it's a decision. Let's build it. You become confident by embodying it right now. And I've got just a tool to help you do exactly that. The main character confidence checklist is your free glow up guide to help you walk in rooms more confidently, speak up louder, and show up like the star you are. It's simple, it's powerful, and it works because confidence isn't about faking it. It's about remembering who you are. Download the checklist now using the link in show notes, and baby, don't just check the boxes, own them. Now, friend, let me pour into you right quick. The world may have written the first few chapters, but you are the author now. Decide who you are today and let them meet this version, the one who chose her own name, her own role, her own life. Give yourself the permission slip. You are more than your relationship status. You are more than your job title. You are more than the role that you've been cast into. You get to choose the role you're playing now. And if you want, you can change it mid scene or anytime you want to. Reinvention isn't just for the movies, it's happening in real life in real time. Take Zendaya, for example. She went from Disney Channel sweetheart to Emmy winning actress and fashion icon, if I must say so myself, shattering the child star box and owning every single step on the stage. Or Miley Cyrus. She shed that Hannah Montana persona, shocked the world as a rebellious pop culture icon, and then surprised everyone again by stepping into a very mature rock slash country sound that's unapologetically her. Or one of my favorites, Viola Davis. You got to say it like that. You got to really mean it, Viola. Viola didn't just break into Hollywood, she kicked the door down, rising from poverty and early career limitations to become one of the most decorated actresses alive, using her platform for truth and social change. Or another one of my favorites, Queen Latifah, who proved she could dominate any lane from trailblazing female rapper to actress, talk show host, producer, and an undeniable brand in her own right. and one who we all know, we all love, Snoop Dogg. Yes, Snoop Dogg went from West Coast gangsta, rap icon, to reggae artist, yes, aka Snoop Lion, to a lovable cultural personality who kept the Olympics going last time, to staying relevant across decades by refusing to stay in one box. He is just himself, and we all love him for it. Different industries, different starting points, but the same common truth is you can decide who you are now, and the world will catch up. Friend, I just want to remind you, you are not stuck. You are not defined by who you've been. You are not required to keep playing a role that you've outgrown. The version of you that the world thinks it knows, she's just a memory, a snapshot, a chapter. They knew who you were at that time in your life. But you, right here, right now, are living, breathing proof that a woman can decide to become someone new at any given moment. So choose boldly, choose beautifully, and remember the mic is yours right now. So, what are you going to say? You can choose an identity that fits the life you're creating and not the one you've outgrown. You are more than just your roles and titles. As important and precious as they are, you are a person, an amazing human being, a beautiful soul who is love, light, and filled with so many amazing qualities like a good heart, fun sense of humor. You know the deep things that most only discover as they get to know you, the real essence of who you are. So let me ask you this. In this season of your life, what's one thing important for you to be? Not do, not achieve, just be, because that's the incredible person many will be blessed to know and enjoy. If you've ever felt like you've grown so much and then slipped back into your old ways, get ready for the next episode, Living as Your New Identity, and what to do when you slip back. Because let's face it, the journey is not linear, and I'm going to show you how to handle it when you do slip back and how to avoid it from happening on repeat. Until then, big hugs, and I love you so much. And remember, around here, we don't settle, we shine. All because together we can encourage over everything. And just like that, queen, another layer of your glow up activated. But don't just listen, live it, because main character energy isn't just a vibe, it's a decision, and you just made it. Want to keep this energy going? If something in today's episode hit home, don't keep it to yourself. Fix another queen's crown. Share it, review it, or send it on with love. Whatever feels aligned. Your words, your stars, they help this message reach even more hearts and many more glow-ups. When you share this show, you are not just spreading encouragement, you are reminding another woman she always had the power. We are rewriting stories, raising standards, and showing the world what empowered love really looks like. So remember, when you show up for you first, everything else aligns. Until next time, walk in your power, love out loud, and keep showing up like the main character you were born to be. Say it with me now. I am the main character of my life. I lead with love and I rise on purpose. All right now, friend, let's go. Your era isn't coming, it's arrived. And you already know how we do it around here. We don't settle, we shine. All because together we can encourage over everything.